So hopefully we get to witness some even more exciting stuff here as the drafting phase for Game 2 will officially commence.
Orange Esports going to be on the blue side with Team CARACAL on the red side. Masha and Valentina being the first two bans for either side. Orange Esports respond with the Fanny.
Okay, so far, interesting bans, but not too out of the ordinary. We already know that Subway doesn't really play these super high mechanic assassins, with maybe the exception of the Ling. So Fanny is already taken off the table by Orange Esports. And the Masha, interestingly enough, will also be a priority, indicating that Orange don't want to pick that up too early for themselves.
Yep, Farmus gets banned out this time as well. Orange Esports could look to follow their same drafting plan, or they could change things up here. Wanwan is still available.
Considering the Orange Esports are on the blue side, they definitely are not going to ban the 1-1. We know that Valence likes playing on it, so they're going to force Team CARACAL to be the ones to ban it out instead. They actually decide to ban out the Diggy themselves, so they're making Team CARACAL choose between 1-1 and Akai.
I like the way that they think. I like the way that Orange Esports is asking these questions during the drafting phase, and they're making it blatantly obvious. It's like, okay, we took away the counter for Akai, so what do you want? It's Team CARACAL going to open the floodgates and say, hey, if you take the 1-1, therefore we're going to take the Akai and we're going to bring other things along with it? Or do they really care about this 1-1? And yes, they do. They ban it out. Orange Esports, I'm expecting the Akai first pick.
Yeah, that has to be their first pick. If they don't go for it here, that would be really weird.
Your team is
Wow. They don't.
Do they have another option? Are they ready to deal with this Akai somehow?
This does seem a little bit risky. Yes, I can understand first picking the Ling. It has worked really well for a lot of teams, but it also doesn't work out if the enemy team has a really tanky composition that can invade your jungle early on. And one of the compositions for that is the Akai, whose natural counter has already been taken off the table.
But Team CARACAL, they're not biting on the bait just yet. They're going to go on the Beatrix and as well as the Esmeralda. They want some form of guarantee before picking up the Akai. The question passed back to Orange Esports, who again, they can take Akai as a support EXP later, I guess?
I feel like Orange aren't really comfortable with taking the Akai as a support, simply because AIM doesn't seem to be very comfortable with these sort of heroes. I could see Neo playing it, but it does also open up the opportunity that maybe Stormy might like the Akai.
I wouldn't put it past him. I'm going to be real. I wouldn't put it past him if he knows how to play the Akai, to be fair. But now, let's see. Orange Esports going to be locking out Franco as well as Lilia. Again, Akai not touched just yet. I guess Team CARACAL take it, right? Or they just let it go to the second phase.
This is very strange here. Why would you prioritize banning the Diggy so early if you don't want to pick up an Akai or something else that has a lot of crowd control here? Like, yes, it does help against the Franco and the Lilia, but Team CARACAL gonna be locking in the Selena yet again, so
strange.
This is weird, yeah.
Is Orange Esports just gonna ban it out in the second phase? Is that the idea here? I mean, technically, like, we've seen Team CARACAL actually go and pick up the Selena in the mid lane. I wouldn't put it past them to let go of the Akai, right?
I'm kind of wondering if this is just evolving into a gentleman's agreement from both these teams to just be like, neither of us are going to play the Akai here today. But I guess we will find out. Team CARACAL will have first ban here in this second phase. Orange, they're still looking for a gold and an EXP laner. Banning out something like the Dira would make a lot of sense since they already have the Esmeralda. And yes, that is going to be their choice.
All right, fair enough. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Orange Esports looking to respond here. The Dyroth already banned out. Team CARACAL technically are still missing their jungler as well as their support, very similarly to the last draft. What is it going to be? Does Orange Esports actually have an answer to this? Or considering that it wasn't really a drafting mistake, game number 1, do they want to just go for the exact same draft with the exception of that Ling?
Well, it looks like the Grok is going to be respected here. They do ban that out. Looking at AIM, his stats overall, he's taken a lot of damage expected for a roamer, but his average kill participation is around 62%. A little bit low for a roamer, but perfectly respectable. I do feel like AIM still needs a little bit time to really warm up to these tankier heroes here. And I do like that Orange Esports are still willing to give it a try, but hopefully this doesn't come back to bite them in the butt. Hopefully we see Team CARACAL. They have 17 seconds left until they finish off the banning phase. We gotta talk about Bad Boy Meow because so far he's been having a pretty good game on this Selena, and hopefully he's gonna show it to us one more time. It's pretty rare for us to see the full magic damage Selena build nowadays, since when teams pick it up, it's usually in the roam position, but Bad Boy showing that it can still work out and does a lot of damage to people who aren't expecting the Abyssal Arrow. With the final ban as well, Team CARACAL get rid of the Popol and Koopa, so again, wanting to give Zed a comfortable lane here. It worked out for them in Game 1 after all.
Let's see if it's going to work out in Game number 2. EXP laner needs to be decided on. It looks like Cho is going to get banned by Orange Esports. Team CARACAL now have first pick on the red side of this second pick phase.
Orange Esports' bans are heavily focused on Sino specifically, so I'm curious to see what else he will have in his roster. A long time ago, I do remember watching and enjoying his Ruby, but the Julian is going to be picked up first, and I am actually kind of surprised that it got this far, considering we did see it in the last game. Team CARACAL's draft right now is pretty similar to what they had previously.
Yeah, and they've also swapped sides, so I don't know, I'm surprised it has turned out like this. Orange Esports now having 30 seconds to decide how to finish off their composition. If they want to, they can go for the Khalid. I don't know how much value he's really going to get out of it, even if he does dominate the lane, because in the later stages, I think Team CARACAL have plenty of ways to kind of kite around the Khalid.
Indeed. It comes down to what Neo will be comfortable playing. He can play quite a lot of EXP laners, and it does look like right now they're hovering over the Ruby. So that's going to be being played by Neo here, as well as the Natan from Valence.
Okay. 60% win rate on Ruby, and Natan having 100% win rate for the one time it got picked. I think this is fair enough for Orange Esports. It's not too bad. You have a way to reposition yourself. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I like this composition more than the last one. Team CARACAL, however, they're looking to finish off theirs.
Yep, they're still looking for the roamer here if this Selena is going to be reprised in the mid lane, and I'm wondering what is still available. And we do see teams go for a lot of Lolita recently, but I don't think that's the... Wait, so this is Selena roam Julian mid, is it?
I think it is, right? Yeah, Ken's picking... Rash is picking up Bad Boy.
Esme roam?
Esme roam? What?
Is that what you're doing?
Is it... I have no real I'm gonna be real... I have no real explanation for this. I really don't. I really have no real explanation. I guess that's their comfort pick, and we're just gonna go with it.
We can only really confirm which positions these heroes are gonna be going on the side of Team CARACAL once we enter the game. And honestly, it's pretty rare for a draft to be able to stump us here like this. Orange Esports, they're gonna have a pretty solid lineup. A good amount of CC, good amount of late game scaling, but they gotta get there first. And Team CARACAL wanna be able to emphasize on their first game victory. They are going with a very unorthodox roam, I would assume here, and we're gonna find out exactly how it is as we now enter the Land of Dawn for game number 2.
Welcome everybody, this is match point for Team CARACAL with a very interesting lineup on the red side versus OE on the blue side.
I do want to confirm this. We see that both Sino and Bad Boy are in the mid lane, and Bad Boy does have Impure Rage once again, so this is a roam Esmeralda.
What? No. Bad Boy is not getting any EXP, so Sino technically is going to be playing in that mid lane here.
Interesting.
I guess they're trying to go for early ganks. Like, I'm trying to figure out the thought process.
Yeah, I am as well wondering why exactly this would be the idea, but it does certainly act as a really good buffer to ensure that Ken isn't going to be disrupted heavily, and even Rash now actually invading into the jungle to disrupt Orange Esports.
I don't get it, because Sino is even opting to take Avarice as well. Who's he going to trade against? Who is he going to trade against? He's getting kited by Stormy already, who upgrades to tier 2 boots and now completely outspeeds him.
This is, I still think this is very weird, but we'll find out whether or not this actually works for Team CARACAL. So far, Bad Boy is going to make it very difficult for AIM to actually roam around and create pressure on the map, simply because Selena just has such a strong early game presence. Because we both roamers focusing on the top side as well. Valence versus Zed is going to be a crucial lane here, especially after what Zed did in the previous game.
Yeah, a lot of focus here. Oh no, they just turned away from the fight on top side. Valence now in some trouble here. He's going to get locked down, but he still sustains pretty well with the Inspire 1 HP enhanced chains, and that's going to be a double kill. Oh boy, first blood achieved, and Team CARACAL already in the lead.
Exactly the start that Team CARACAL is looking for. They already know from game 1, if we give Zed a good start, he will carry us with this Beatrix, and giving him first blood of the game as well as an assist is going to be great. He's already taken out basically 30% of the tower gold against Valence, giving Team CARACAL a 1.4k net worth lead.
Yep, quite some value though. I wasn't expecting Valence to survive that long, but I guess he was getting a lot of collaterals with his passive projectiles. On top of the fact that he had Inspired, so he was just getting the heals again and again and again and again, but still to not. As the first turtle is going to be contested for so far, no, it's not going to be contested.
Sino's actually doing a very good job. He's playing the Esmeralda in a similar way to you would play a hero like Hilda, just jumping in and doing small amounts of poke damage to the enemy jungler, but just enough to make sure they cannot contest objectives, while at no real risk to yourself, because he knows that Subway in the early game won't have enough damage to actually threaten an Esmeralda.
Yeah, AIM is here. Is somebody going to help him out? Zed's making his way downtown here. So he has to make a choice. Does he try to look to punish Sino? He's going to back away, not knowing where the Franco is. And the same goes for Zed. As Subway, again, they have information on where he is going to be. So what are they going to do with that information?
I'm actually kind of surprised they don't try to invade this purple buff here, considering how important it is. Valence popping the ultimate to... Oh, the Iron Hook! Actually gonna land onto Bad Boy into the Bloody Hunt, but the shotgun from Zed going to actually miss its mark. AIM is still alive. Oh, but he gets it! Subway now jumping into the backline, finds the pick onto Bad Boy. Will be able to follow up onto Zed as well before backing off to ensure he's not picked off by Sino. Here comes Stormy to follow up, but they will be able to pick off the 2 kills.
If I was AIM, I'd be furious. I would be furious at my goal laner there. Valence not blocking the shot, and technically AIM could have just hid behind him. That's also a possibility, but it would have been nice if Valence just took the shot.
I think Valence didn't take the shot because he knew that Subway would be coming in and he needed as much HP as possible to continue the fight. I assume that's what they were thinking, and they were willing to sacrifice AIM for it. Right now though, Team CARACAL continuing their early game advantage. They want to invade once again with Ken and Rash.
Yep, Subway getting punted here as he's forced to use the Tempest of Blades. Gets on out of there. Enhanced Sword coming in from Ken, dealing a good amount of damage to Neo. They take the buff, and now Team CARACAL are in full swing, full control of the game.
Julian and Paquito is a really dangerous early game combo, and you can see the amount of damage that comes out of him. AIM now being forced to retreat again by Bad Boy. This Franco against Selena matchup is not comfortable for him, and Zed, 1 level up on Subway. He might actually look for the execute. He's
gone. Goodbye. Disappeared from the face of the earth. That is terrible, and even Neo is getting absolute... Oh, he doesn't even get to spell vamp any of it. Sino now controlling the mid lane. Ahead, Stormy taking a bad trade as Neo. Is he going to die here? Is Ken going to fish him off? Yes, he does. Finds the kill with his Retribution. Ooh. And sending Paquito to clean up Stormy in the mid lane. Orange Esports is falling apart.
We were wondering if Team CARACAL has an at-home buff. I think this confirms it. They are playing like madmen right now. Already a 3k net worth advantage. I don't know how AIM missed that hook there. The hitboxes right now are being very strange, but Team CARACAL perfectly happy with that.
I don't get it. What's going on with Orange Esports? Did that first game really set them off the edge here? Team CARACAL are winning with an interesting, very weird draft, taking all the neutral objectives and pretty much winning every single trade.
It looks like they're just taking a page out of Orange Esports' book. They say, if you can play weird mid, so can we. Rash now in a bit of danger. He might be targeted. Flicker forward with the Bloody Hunt. Should secure the kill onto the Paquito. And the kill going over to Valence.
You can see how sick of it AIM was. He was chasing him for so long. It's like, all right, I'm going to flicker Bloody Hunt. Let's take this guy out. This is taking too long. But Zed, having full control over the top side, is going to get a tier 2 for himself.
Zed is going to be terrifying right now. Full level up on Valence. 3 kills and 1 death. Right now, Stormy gonna continue to try and zone them out. They know they want to focus on that bottom tower, and Team CARACAL are actually quite happy to give that over to them. You can see the way they're positioning is specifically to make sure they can't get hooked, but Zed gets caught out, pulled back into the tower, still alive for a surprisingly long time, but finally taken out. And the rest of Team CARACAL have to back off.
Nicely played by Subway here as he goes back down to the bottom side using his Tempest of Blades to dodge the Abyssal Arrow and still secure the kill. They're looking to fight back, but Team CARACAL are not done with them. The Bloody Hunt has been activated. They made sure that Sino is going to pay the price. Orange Esports now on the offensive. Here comes Rash as he gets into the middle of that fight. Neo holds on for a little bit longer. Ken unfortunately has no angle, and the mid-tier 1 falls into the hands of Orange Esports.
That was a very quick rebuttal from Orange. They were definitely ahead thanks to the aggression from Team CARACAL, but instantly taking advantage of a mistake. Zed getting caught out means that Orange can play a lot more safely and go for structures, already taking 2 away from Team CARACAL and reducing the net worth lead to only a few hundred.
Yeah, this is quite the back and forth here. It looked like Team CARACAL was winning every trade, but now Orange Esports have caught right back up to really close that gap in terms of deficit. Now, they're going to take their time as the turtle is spawning in Team CARACAL. I want to see how they actually enter the fight in this situation.
Yeah, especially considering Orange Esports now have control over the Lord Pit. Definitely feeling a little bit of the impacts of that strange Esmeralda mid right now. They just have no real way to engage and safely do damage, meaning that they're just going to give the Lord away to Orange.
Clear up the mid wave. They're walking in as a unit as AIM clears out the Abyssal Traps one by one, face checking it. Oh, that didn't connect. That's actually so sad. But here comes Rash. He gets the double jab in. The enhanced chains pops, but AIM is out of there. Uses the conceal, looks to chase, but no, they're too fast. They've already made it out.
I just kind of feel like AIM is constantly getting scammed today. The Iron Hooks really should have hit a lot more than they have been. I don't know what's going on. But right now, we can see he's actually being targeted himself. Abyssal Arrow into the Falling Star Moon. Might take out the Franco. Forced to use Bloody Hunt on Xeno, but doesn't survive enough to see the whole duration. Tempest Blaze jumping in. Neo flickers forward, catching out Ken. Giving the killing spree to Valence as here comes Rash from the side. A nice 2-man knockout strike, chunking Neo and Valence down to half HP. The rest of the team coming in, but no mana on Bad Boy means that they cannot continue.
Okay. I definitely thought that was going to be more kills for Subway, but I don't think he has as much as I would believe him. He's currently at 27 to 27k, so I don't think he has his third item just yet. I would have expected 2 to be enough, but Team CARACAL, they're on even footing with Orange Esports.
I realize that Xeno only just now gets his enchanted talisman, so either he went for something else first or he is really poor. I'm leaning more towards the former here. We can see that Orange Esports now actually do have the net worth lead, and things are starting to become a little bit rough for CARACAL because Orange does have pretty good late game scaling in comparison.
Yeah, Subway. There we go. That's the third item, the Endless Battle. Now he should have more than enough damage to press down the squishier targets. I would like to see the item list. I'm curious to know what Xeno actually went for, but the Abyssal Arrow lands onto the right targets. Neo manages to walk away as OE punish the engagement as Rash. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Bad Boy lands a full combo, but Rash has to pay the price.
How does Neo even walk out of that alive? A beautiful hook from AIM, finally not getting scammed there. Orange Esports still actually playing quite safely around this Lord. They know that Ken is still alive, so they can't afford to full invest until they're able to secure a more comfortable position for themselves. but with all the waves pushing in, now they can use aim to zone it out. Looks like, yeah, Team CARACAL, they're just not going to contest for this.
Yep, they can't really do too much about it, and I don't know, man. This has been a rather bizarre game.
Bizarre is to say the least of it, but now the first Lord of the game finally comes out from the base of Orange Esports. Gonna be pushing in the mid lane. We saw in the previous game, Team CARACAL was able to defend this without much damage to the tower at all. Hopefully they'll be able to replicate the same success, as now looks like we're going to be going into a quick pause.
Oh no, game pause at such an important time like this when momentum is really starting to build up for Orange Esports. Well, let's just have a look-see here. 7-7 on both sides, 10 minutes into the game. Oh, that Lord is going to be really important to actually swing the gold lead in either OE's favor or CARACAL.
Feel like this is a good chance for us to just kind of talk about Team CARACAL as well, though. They've been doing a really good job here in this game. Like before this, I think a lot of people were counting them out because their performances in previous week has been less than stellar, and it definitely feels like they had a little bit of problem with their communication, with their synergy, but all of a sudden, they're definitely feeling a lot better. It feels like much more of a team.
I would agree to that. I would think that Team CARACAL looks a lot more put together, even though their drafts can sometimes be weird. When there is a turnaround, the turnaround is quite worthwhile. But stealing that game 1 from Orange Esports probably put a sour taste in their mouths, and I don't know. Looking at the fact that Sino is deciding to play this Esmeralda mid, hopefully he gets to that later stage of the game.
Definitely kind of costing them in terms of utility here, but we're going to be going into an instant replay real quick from that last fight, where somehow, even though they get the Abyssal Arrow full combo on Neo, it is Rash who gets pulled back and taken out by Orange Esports instead.
As we saw there, Bad Boy didn't decide to commit to the kill. He wanted to give it over to Ken. But in that small fraction of time, Ruby was actually able to get out of there and not let Ken actually close the distance. So fair enough, it's understandable. You want to be a good support. You want to be able to help out your jungler, get a couple of kills.
Yeah, but it definitely has to feel bad where in those sort of situations, you aren't actually able to get the kill because of that decision, and it's gotta sting a little bit, you know. I think a lot of support players will say like, oh, if we get the kill, they say we steal the kill, but if we give the kill to them, they'll say like, oh, why didn't you get the kill, you know?
There's no winning. There's no winning with these junglers. Very real, a little too real actually. But now with the Lord pressing its advance towards the outer turrets, let's see how much Orange Esports is able to get off of this.
They're gonna be able to take the mid here too, but the Lord is nearly dead, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to take the inhibitor here. Team CARACAL should have more than enough to deal with it. But the bottom wave, ooh, a nice pulse from the tower there to make sure that it doesn't take much damage. Team CARACAL should be able to safely defend against this. I wonder if Orange still want to aggressively try.
Oh, I don't think Orange Esports is really going to bet their luck here. But oh, they find the hook of the century onto Sino, and now they're trying to get out of there, but it's going to be the chains! Unfortunately for Sino, he still loses his life at the end of the day, and now Orange Esports are on the attack. Top side, the pulse clears off that wave, and that is going to be that. What a hook from AIM!
All things considered, though, trading Sino instead of Rash is actually going to be pretty worth it for Team CARACAL, because the Paquito will contribute a lot more than the Esmeralda to this base defense. But another hook onto Rash, and he's not escaping from it this time. Unstoppable, the Orange Abyssal Arrow finds Subway, but he's fine. Valence is already farmed up, and with 2 members down, Orange can push in. Sino finally rejoins the fight, but it's a bit too late to save that top inhibitor.
Yep, they've already lost an inhibitor. This is much better compared to the previous game, as Orange Esports took 3 Lords, and even then, that very last one, Team CARACAL was able to coin flip them and beat them in a team fight. So hopefully Orange Esports don't make that same mistake.
Rash definitely kind of tunnel vision there. He, after getting hooked the first time, he was keeping an eye on aim and completely forgot that they have another hook on Orange Esports from Neo as well, and just set himself up for that one. That's just rough.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But Orange Esports have many different tools to achieve the same thing. I think Team CARACAL, as of yet, need to figure out how they want to engage, because Ken has been landing some really incredible chains, one of which saved Rash's life. life. So, like, maybe play around cooldowns.
Well, with 20 seconds left on the Lord cooldown, Orange Esports are in a pretty comfortable position to go for this. Team CARACAL are going to have to spend quite a while to clear up the lanes. Not sure if they're going to be able to make it in time to respond to this, but they definitely have to. This could be the game-winning ticket for Orange.
Yep, this could be the game-winning ticket right here. Rash is going to be doing the housekeeping, clearing up the bottom wave, but now they already found their pick. There goes Bad Boy, and Zed and Sino unsure what to do. Sino might have to run it down and open up some space, because look at how fast the entropy already popped by Valence. Switches position. Again, Team CARACAL, they have to let it happen.
Balance is pretty strong right now. Corrosion Scythe as well. I'm wondering if he is full build yet on this Natan. I imagine he's probably like...
Yep.
Oh, he is. He's full build at 14 minutes. That's pretty quick right there and pretty terrifying for CARACAL.
Yeah, and he has Inspire, so all the on-hit effects are really going to hurt. Team CARACAL need to make sure that Valence gets taken out quickly here, so it's going to be up to Ken, Sino, and as well as Bad Boy to make that happen. They cannot just depend on Zed to make these heroic plays.
But once again, we see the lane wave synchronization from Orange Esports with the Luminous Lord coming up top. They want to get every single inhibitor right now. Bennett's Rage makes sure that the mid tower survives, but not the bottom side. Orange, they might invest for this.
I think it's worthwhile, but can they land that pick here? I'm keeping an eye on Neo and as well as Aim on the bottom side as Lord cracks open top. What are they going to do here? They find the suppression onto Rash. He goes down. Sino jumps in and they both end up dying. A double kill as Valence is way too strong and have completely outscaled Team CARACAL.
The final inhibitor will fall, and with only 2 members of CARACAL to defend, they're not going to do enough. Zed picks up a final shutdown onto Subway, but it's not going to matter when the